Chapter 80. It's our anniversary, but then again, it's not. Maybe the last one was a precursory of a love once strong turned to naught. The 10th of December. It was so damn typical. On their first anniversary, she had been taken by surprise when Keivan showed up in a Porsche. On their second one, she had only remembered it because Agneta had reminded her. But now that it was over, the date of their anniversary shone in neon lights in her mind. Today was her and Keivan's third anniversary. Or rather, it would have been if that hadn't happened. She and Keivan would have celebrated their third anniversary today in some cozy, romantic way. If it had not happened, Keivan would have finished his university studies by now. Maybe he would have had a job. Instead, it was over, and she lay alone at home in her bed on the morning of the 10th of December. She sighed deeply and turned around. Everything was wrong this winter. She had called Agneta just over a week ago to suggest that they do the traditional Christmas gift shopping after the 1st of Advent. Her friend had sounded strange and said that she didn't have time to do Christmas shopping with Jenny this year. That was surprising to say the least. They had lots of exams and schoolwork in recent years, but they had always got together to do the Christmas gift shopping. After all, it needed to be done. This year would be the first time they didn't do it together. Jenny had finally gotten so annoyed that she had said, "Okay, never mind then," and hung up. She had immediately regretted it. No wonder Agneta didn't want to talk to her. She had been far from friendly and available this autumn, so it was perhaps not so strange that Agneta didn't immediately drop whatever she was doing to join when Jenny finally did call. She turned around again. When she saw the necklace on her desk, she smiled. Well, she hadn't shopped with her friend, but she had found her a perfect Christmas present. Shopping on her own had been terribly boring, but seeing that necklace in a shop had changed her mood immediately. It was perfect. Many years ago, she and Agneta had been on a school trip. They had walked into a small artisan shop on the island they had visited and seen beautiful necklaces with different stones. They had bought a necklace each with a large green stone. The shopkeeper had joked and said, "Amazonite for Amazons." Giggling, Jenny and Agneta had put on their similar necklaces. A few years later, Agneta had lost her necklace at a festival, and despite diligent searching, they never managed to find it again. Agneta had been incredibly sad. They had liked having similar necklaces and a shared memory. The necklace Jenny had found looked just like the lost one. She knew it would be a perfect present. She had also found a Christmas present for Diego. It was an old-fashioned tin can that was just the right size for the rectangular crispy breads he ate. The motif on the jar was old-fashioned motorcycles, Indian Enfields. She didn't know if he would like it, but it was worth a try. She had also seen some books about Jimi Hendrix that Keivan probably would have liked, but she didn't intend to buy him any Christmas presents this year. He had ended their relationship. He would have to do without gifts from her. December 10th. It would have been their third anniversary today if she had not insisted on going through Nordstan. If only Jari and the other idiots had not happened to be there then. With a jolt, she sat up. It was time to stop thinking and start doing. She went to the toilet she and Boris shared. After she had peed, she washed her hands and took a contraceptive pill. She had started taking birth control pills shortly after she had had sex with Diego for the first time. If he had any illnesses, she probably had them already, but she didn't intend to get pregnant. AIDS, chlamydia, well, whatever happened, happened. But she was not going to have children until she was ready for them. Diego had never asked if she used birth control pills. Either he assumed she did, or he thought the risk was worth taking. Or he simply didn't care, simply didn't think. Sometimes she wished she could be more like him. Then she wouldn't be thinking about today being an anniversary, but still not. She made some breakfast in the shared kitchen and brought a sandwich and a glass of milk into her room. She didn't want to risk Boris coming into the kitchen, forcing her to make small talk. She wasn't up for that. While eating her breakfast at her desk, she decided to go to Agneta. She could bring the Christmas present as an excuse. Glad to have a plan, she finished her breakfast. She put on some Christmas music to get into the mood as she wrapped Agneta's presents and the crisp bread jar for Diego. Then she wrapped her parents' presents as well. By the time she was done, it was 11 o'clock. Late enough to go and surprise a friend. She put on a thick quilted jacket and pulled her hat down far over her ears before even opening the door. It was not many degrees below zero, but in combination with the cold wind, it was icy cold. When she got out, she slipped. It was icy under the thin, white layer that had fallen during the night. Carefully, she walked a few hundred meters to Agneta's student's apartment. The present was in a plastic bag. The present was in a plastic bag hanging on her wrist. She swung it back and forth, feeling better every step she took. When she arrived, she met one of the students who lived in the same corridor as Agneta. She nodded at Jenny and held open the door so she could go in. Jenny went into the corridor, knocked on Agneta's door, and went in without waiting for an answer. Agneta was always awake and up at this time of day. When she looked in, she saw Agneta and a guy standing in the middle of the floor kissing. Jenny's first thought was that it was great that Agneta had a boyfriend. Then she saw who she was kissing. Agneta was not kissing her boyfriend, she was kissing Jenny's. At least, that's how it felt. She grabbed the vase on the table next to the door and threw it forcefully at her friends. They didn't notice her until the vase hit them. When it smashed against the floor, she turned on her heel and ran away. Out of the apartment, out of the corridor, out into the street. There she met the red-haired girl. Pressing the Christmas present into the girl's arms, Jenny wished her Merry Christmas. She didn't know who it was. She didn't know if she would appreciate the necklace. Jenny only knew that Agneta would never, ever get it.